right, there we go, there we go. Hey, it's the first show of the season. Welcome to Wisconsin's Classiest Commish Live. Here I am, the Classiest Commish. Here's the 2020 version of Wisconsin's Classiest Commish Live, coming to you from the temporary Studio B in the Brewer Basement Studios. We're doing some renovation going on down here, so what we have is this new space. As you can see, there's a fish tank, and then ironically, that is where I also keep all of my fishing gear. Alright, so this is the 10th season of Wisconsin's Classiest Fantasy Football League. This is the 3rd season of Wisconsin's Classiest Commish Live. Last season didn't last very long. We didn't have very many episodes. But this season we are hopefully getting out there, get something positive into the world for 2020. We need it. Kicking off this 10th season, which probably kicked off 2 minutes ago, but looking at the big clock on the wall, we have a new owner. Ryan Pauly is here. He is coming in hot, and his only singular goal seems to be to destroy former champ Colby Dotstedt. If he can do that, he will be well placed to have a shot at the trophy and the ring. As you can kind of see the Duke behind us, we just started playing for that last year. The name tags are not on because they're part of the docu-series, and they will all be put on in one day. But you get your name on that trophy forever, and then also you get a championship ring. That's how we do now. This video will be put up on YouTube. You can see in the description. The channel has nothing on it yet. It's Wisconsin's Classiest Commish. There will be a link in the comments once we get the links down. We are ready to start streaming there too, but most of my audience is here, so we'll start here. Also, YouTube is where the docu-series, The History of Wisconsin's Classiest Fantasy Football League, will be hosted. The docu-series took a back seat this last week-ish as people's roles have changed, school has started, all that jazz. We are basically polishing it up and then making sure that we don't have a lag time of like 3 weeks in between episodes. So we are kind of staggering everything, dragging our feet a little bit because we are in the middle of pre-production on episode 2. This thing is, once we get rolling, it's like sticking a cog in a machine that the whole machine wasn't working. We bang that cog in there, and now the whole thing goes click, click, click. Alright? I don't want to put any specific premiere dates, but if this episode 1 isn't premiering in 2 weeks, we will all be upset for sure here on the production team. So what we're going to do tonight is simply, there's not going to be any Captain's Corner picks because the captain doesn't know any better than anybody else. Everybody's guess is the same tonight, especially tonight. As the season goes along and the captain gets a little more comfortable, maybe then we will do captain's picks. But let's go to the preseason power rankings for Wisconsin's Classiest Fantasy Football League. Hey, look at that nice graphic we got up there. Thank you, graphics department. Alright. So, we're going to go in reverse order, and I'm going to tell you what I did here. I have 4 websites that I put these in that kind of spit it out, and what the rankings from the 4 websites told me is that our league is either incredibly even, or the experts really don't know what they're talking about, because we had wildly different rankings on wildly different sites. Okay, so we're going to start out with the 12. I put them all in, I added them all up, divided them by 4, and then they gave me a number, and I ranked us in reverse order. This is the only power rankings that will show all 12. And after this, it will only show the top 6, and they will be my power rankings alone, but they were using this as a starting point. So number 12, Phil Lipservice. Phil Lipservice, he paid up for a tight end. I think a lot of these ranking services didn't enjoy that. So they kind of docked him for that. His team is not by far and away the worst team. There's a lot of upside throughout that roster. You can't hit on them all, but boy, there sure is a lot. He bought low on a lot of guys. The number 11, the Flying Fallopians. Wide receiver is the strength of this team. They are doing the zero running back strat, whether it was on purpose or on accident. That is what they got. And so if you guys are looking to see like how do you run the zero running back strategy, Flying Fallopians is absolutely the they are the team that's doing it in our league. They're the only team running a full-on zero running back strat. Number 10, Dougie Style, one of our original owners. Obviously, the computer doesn't know how savvy this man is, or they would not stick him down here at 10th. But I'm going to tell you the difference in his rating and the number 1 rating was not very many ranking points. This whole team is one big upside. If you look at everybody on this team, he bought low on absolutely every person. Now, they can't all hit, but if 3/4 of them hit, or even half, he's going to have a pretty good season. And then, of course, the roster moves that he's known for in season, again, don't count this team out. Dougie Styles came in 10th. On to number 9, Fly Eagles Fly. They have top 5 talent at every starting position. So why are they way down here? Health is a concern. Depth is a concern. Okay, so they're down here at 9th, but again, the difference between 9th and 4th, I think, is like 1 or 2 ranking points. So these aren't very good. I think that Fly Eagles Fly is a sleeper to win the whole league. Number 8, Kings Game Breakers. He's got the human video game at quarterback in Lamar Jackson. He's got a lot of options throughout the team. This is not a surprise. These teams that they put together over there at Kings Game Breakers are generally spectacular. This is no different. Number 8, King Game Breaker. Very good team. All right, number 7 is our last year's champions, Big Daddy. They're way back to here at 7. I think they got some work to do, but you cannot discount the number 1 player in fantasy football, the number 1 player drafted across just about every single fantasy football league on the planet. He's got him. He's also got a good QB wide receiver combo. Aaron Rodgers is not done. Devontae Adams, there's no one else to throw to. I don't think Allen Lazard is going to take all the touchdowns. So he's got a good QB wide receiver stack, and he's got the number 1 player in fantasy. And don't count out Big Daddy just yet. Number 6, perennial butt kicker, the Cuba City Cobra Kai. They are top heavy, and I mean top heavy. They have the number 1 players at running back, number 2 at flex, kicker, defense, special teams. These guys got a lot of really great players, and there is nothing but handcuffs on that running back heavy team. I believe that this is a championship or bust team. They will be first or last. Number 5, RG3 there yet. So full of running backs, they even have one at quarterback. They are the opposite of the zero running back strategy. They are using the every running back strategy. And yes, that was a dig at Josh Allen, who makes lots of running points, but couldn't hit the broadside of the barn with that strong arm. He doesn't have a lot of handcuffs, but what he does have is a lot of upsides and flyers in his backup running backs. His running back room looks terrific. Again, I think anyone right now has a chance to win this league. That is for sure. All right, now we move to the final third here. We got number 4, Paulie, here to beat Colby. This is a very balanced team, and I think that a lot of the computer rankings really liked that this team is balanced from top to bottom. It doesn't have too many stars, it doesn't have too many bums. It's got a lot of middle of the road guys. Very balanced, very plug and play, so you can go from each matchup to each matchup. Now, that has not been a strategy that's worked in this league in the past, but it doesn't mean it won't work this year. Number 3, perennial Marty Schottenheimer, the Slaughterhouse Hams. This is a deep, deep team. The Slaughterhouse Hams have about the same team as Paulie, but better. But they are really deep, except they need to stream 2 positions. So, can he take these 2 teams and then consistently stream the defense and the QB and have enough free agent dollars to make it to the end? We'll have to see. Of course, if you didn't notice, the Commish clause dropped 5 more free agent bucks on everybody to let you have a little bit more wiggle room in picking up players last minute. Now up to number 2, we have the only B in here. This team checks off all the boxes as far as her starters are concerned. The only B in here, though, is a little weak on the back end. But we have seen this exact team just plow through this league before. Really has a lot of upside. Again, injury concerns when you are this top heavy, in the same vein as the Cobra Kai, the Fly Eagles Fly, are a couple other top heavy teams where injuries might be a concern. Not as much on the Cobra Kai because they have a handcuff at every single running back position. And our number 1 power ranking, you probably have guessed, and this is a great name for this year, the Ingram Toenails. This is a balanced team. I think that a lot of the computer rankings liked the veteran presences on this team, and I think this is really good for the early season. As there hasn't been a lot of game time, I think a lot of these vets got a lot of reps off, but they also know how to play, and so it took a lot of hurt off their bones. They're going to benefit the most from this schedule. So there you have it, our power rankings. Right now, our top 6 are the Ingram Toenails, Only Be In Here, Slaughterhouse Hams, Polly Here to Beat Colby, RG3 There Yet, and the Cuba City Cobra Kai. From now on, again, I will be just doing a top 6. Alright, and we're going to go to our final segment here tonight because the game has started. I haven't seen any of it. We started late tonight, so we will try not to do that again. The goal is to start by 6:40 from now on. But we did get a lot of this set up, and it looks pretty nice. As you can see, we got new graphics on the sidebars and everything. So, here we are for this week, the Wisconsin's Classiest Commish Fantasy Football League picks. Like I said, I'm not doing any Captain Corners NFL picks. Okay, in game number 1, I have the Fly Eagles Flies versus the Cuba City Cobra Kai. I have picked the Cuba City Cobra Kai. CEH steals the show and a bunch of points from Mahomes tonight. In the second game, I have Dougie Style versus Ingram Toenails. I have picked Ingram Toenails. I believe Devontae Parker goes off for 3 touchdowns and help lead the Toenails to the win. Game number 3, I had the Flying Fallopians versus the Slaughterhouse Hams. This is a squeaker, but we will absolutely know how much of a squeaker after tonight. The Fallopians have a lot of people playing tonight. I got Kings Game Breakers versus Big Daddy. I have picked Kings Game Breakers. Lamar Jackson to Hollywood Brown for 2 touchdowns will be 2 long touchdowns will be enough to carry the Game Breakers over last year's champion Big Daddy. Polly Only Here to Beat Colby versus the Only Be In Here. This is going to be probably this has a chance to be our high score game of the week, and I have the only bee in here winning this one. She has the best matchups. And in our game of the week, I have an upset special. Phil Lip Service over RG3 There Yet. Allen and Henry will be held well under the amount of points they are expected to get, and this upset will go to Phil Lip Service. Alright, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to this show. Like I said, I'm going to be putting it up on Facebook when this is over. It might be tonight, it might be later. I actually want to watch some of this football game, see what it looks like. It feels weird. There wasn't like a ton of people in the stands at some of the pregame that I watched. Thank you very much for watching, and I want to remind everybody to stay classy.